Eric from Hoagland Office Equipment. Today we're making a quick video to talk about some of our most frequent service calls. And probably the most frequent one that we have is for paper jams. Now it's true, no matter whose copier it is, eventually you're going to have some paper jams from time to time. But there are some things that you can do to keep your copier working good and error-free. Now let me tell you that our service department says that the #1 reason that we do have paper jams, far and above anything else, ends up being that the paper actually isn't loaded properly. So we want to look at that today. So one of the first things that you can do to try to avoid having paper jams has to do with the paper itself. If it's at all possible, you want to store the paper in the same room where your copier or MFP is going to be. And that's for a few different reasons, partially because of extreme temperatures, static electricity, and especially humidity all can affect the way that the paper moves through the machine. And so storing paper outside or someplace where it's much colder or that sort of thing where the conditions are different is going to make changes. So again, if at all possible, keep the paper in the same room where you're going to be doing your copying. Now, let's load some paper. When we load the paper in, keep the pages as straight as possible. Go ahead and line it up and set it down on top. But when you put it in, you want to make sure to actually fan the pages out. You want to make sure to get a little bit of air in between the pages. And then always make sure that the side guides are completely pushed up against the paper, that there's no gaps. Just a small gap even can cause the paper to go through the machine and be a little bit skewed and cause a jam. This is one of those areas where our technicians have seen things off just by a millimeter, and that can cause issues. So make sure it's in there, that the side guides are pushed all the way in, that the pages are fanned, and this should help you to have as few jams as possible. Now it may sound far-fetched, but believe it or not, we've had several calls before where the customers called in and said that it's not printing correctly, it's not pulling the paper through, and a lot of times that's been because the paper's not on the right side of the tray. Paper always has to be adjusted to the right side of the tray. So make sure that when you put the paper in, it's on the right side with the guides pushed in. Again, if you want to avoid jams, it's important that you make sure that the pages are clean, that they're aligned neatly, that there's no foreign objects. Make sure there's never any staples or anything, whether it's going through the dock feeder and especially not through the paper drawer. Again, paper jams can always happen. So I'm going to go ahead and run a copy and simulate what would happen if we had a paper jam. I'll put my document in the dock feeder, go over and tell it I want to make a color copy, and I'm basically just going to interrupt it in the middle as if the paper jammed in the process. This would be exactly what you'd see. You'd see an error message come up. And the sharps are always really good because they're going to show you exactly where you need to go to clear that jam. And it adds, by pressing this button, shows you actually step by step, which in this case it's showing right here under the exit. We need to remove that paper. You can see it's just barely sticking out, so it says just to pull that through to remove it. The on-screen display will continue to tell you exactly what you need to do to remove any jams. If we look to the side here, it has us to open this door. The other thing Sharp's really good about is that anything that's green is perfectly okay for you to adjust and to manipulate. This is going to allow you to move the paper through the machine and clear any jams. If it's green, you can adjust it. Once the paper's been cleared out, the machine will sense that and it'll be ready. In fact, it's going to continue and make that copy. Hey, thanks for watching our video today. Hopefully something we went over will be helpful to you in the future and hopefully keep you from having too many paper jams, or at least know how to clear them out. Be watching our channel for new videos on other topics. Thanks so much and have a great day. You can visit Hoagland Office Equipment at 2401 Avenue F in Lubbock, Texas. Our showroom's open to show you all the latest products. As well, check out our webpage at hoaglandofficeworks.com. There you'll find info on copiers and printers, office furniture, office supplies, postage meters, folding and inserting machines, business software, and IT and network services. Yes, Hoagland does all that. You can see more videos like this one on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search Hoagland Copiers. Service is how we sell.